Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will learn how to create this amazing landing page design with the help of CSS animation. Also, you can see here on my computer screen, I have this one text logo. Also, I have this one nav menus and two icons. Also, next we have these two other buttons, that is the previous and the next button. Also, you can see this bottle is floating from up and down. This is the help of CSS animation. Also, you can see whenever I move my cursor, you can see this leaves there some CSS animation also. So also we have this button. So we'll create this landing page design using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So before starting this video, kindly please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share. So without wasting time, let's start the video. Hello guys, welcome back again. So here I have created one folder called landing page design. Also inside this folder I have another folder called images. Now this way I have all my images that I'm going to use to create this landing page. Also I'm going to provide all the image source, so make sure to go down on the video link description and download these files. Next we have two other files, that is one for index.html and also style.css. Now let's open this folder in our text editor. So I'm using this VS Code. Also this is my index.html and this is the folder for images. As I said, I'm going to provide you all the images, so make sure to download it, the image source, in my video link description. Also here I have created the basic HTML structure, and also I have connected my HTML with CSS by using this link tag called style.css. So also you can see here I have three other files, three other links. So also I'll provide all these links in my video link description, so make sure to follow up. Next is we have is style.css. So in this file we only have the basic CSS structure like margin 0, padding 0 and also cursor to be pointer. Next let's come back to our index.html. Here we'll start under the body. We'll create one div with a class name wrapper. Also I'm going to create another div with a class name nav. Again I'm going to create one div with a class name logo. Here is where I'm going to put my logo text by using text logo. Okay, so I'll just say clean juice. So remember, this is a clean juice landing page design. So also you can see the title here. Next I'm going to do is at the end of this div tag, I'm going to create one div with a class name menu links. Inside this div we'll create UL and li. So simply I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to change my text. And lastly I'm going to say contact us. I think we should also add, again let me just do another list here. Also I'm going to add like location, so I'll say location. So simply we're going to save this file and let's go back to our folder. So here in our folder we want to open this in our browser. So simply what we're going to do is double click index file. Now here you can see we have the logo and the menu list. Now come back to your text editor. Next what we're going to do is at the end of this div tag we'll create one div with a class name search. Also in this div I'm going to create the I tag. So this way I'm going to put my icon. So I'll create i.class, which I'll give it a class. Again I'll give it another class called search. So if I save this file, you're going to see my icon. Refresh your web page. You can see this icon. For most of you, you're not going to see it because simply you'll need this link tag called font awesome. So like I said, I'm going to provide these three links. It's very important. So without this you cannot see the icons, and also we need these two because when we're going to do some JavaScript, we are going to use JavaScript JS libraries and plugins. So next what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to create another list, or we can just create another div with a class name search, or we can say account. For this class I'll give it my account. Next I'm going to create again, so simply I'm going to copy this to save time. So we need to create another icon, that is the cart icon. So here I'm going to say shopping cart. After, at the end of this div tag, we'll create another div with a class name content. So we need to add content. Inside this div we'll create another div with a class name tagline. So here I'm going to add a text that says find your clean juice. After this div tag, we'll create another div with a class name pages, and here I'm going to use the span tag, and I'll put a text, and at the end of this also I'll put text. So this will be like 2/21. Okay, it's like pages. So next what we need to add is, maybe we need a title. Yes, let's add a title, and our title is going to be something, let's say like lemonade, because this lemonade landing page design. So I'm going to say lemonade. Next, at the end of this div tag, we're going to create one more div with a class name more. So here I'm going to add anchor tag, and I'm not going to add any href, and I'm not going to add anything on our href, so I'll just leave blank. So here I'm going to say show all the juices. So this will act as this anchor tag will act as a button. Okay, so at the end of this div tag, again, come here, we're going to create another div with a class name disk. Here I'm going to add two paragraphs. So the first paragraph will be, so I'll just go here to my notepad. I have this paragraph. So I'm doing this because I want to save time. So simply I'll paste it. You can just copy. Okay, so again we'll create another paragraph, and again I'm going to copy this paragraph I have here. Okay, it's like a small paragraph. You can use your own paragraph if you have your own text, or just copy this text. Okay, so let's save this file and simply refresh our web page. Now you can see we have this button and we have our two paragraphs. So come back to your text editor. At the end of this div tag, two div tags. Okay, so here I'm going to create one div with a class name juice. Also, here is where I'm going to add my image. So I'm going to use, you see here I've created a folder called images, so you will have to start with the folder. Okay, so I'm going to say /images. It's automatically going to show you, so let's choose juice.png. Now if you save this file, you will see our juice bar here. Okay, next, after this div tag, we need to create one div with a class name leaves. Also this div I'm going to create UL with an ID. So let's give this ID like something like scene, because we want some animation. So we're using these leaves to move from left to side. That is the help of CSS animation, okay, and JavaScript plugins. So next, what I'm going to do is, we need to add a list, and for my first list I'll add a class, and I'll give it layer. Also we need to add data depth. Okay, for this one I'll give it negative 0.1. okay, between this list I'm going to add the img. So still we have the image source and you're going to choose leave 01 leave. Okay, so simply what I'm going to do is, to save time, simply let's duplicate this, copy this. So we have like 5 leaves. Okay, so I'm just going to do copy paste. So simply we are going to change. We have the first one, this is going to be the second one, and this one is going to be our third leaf, fourth one, and the fifth one. Okay, so simply we're not going to change the value, only this one. Okay, negative, or you can just remove the minus. You can just say 0.3. Also we don't need this, we just need to say 0.1, and for this one I'll say 1.5. okay, and this one's the second one is going to be negative 0.3. okay, minus 0.3. okay, so that's it. So at the end of this div tag again, I'm going to add arrows. So that is like the previous and next, where you can just, it's like a carousel. Okay, but here we're not doing anything like sliding. Okay, so I'll just create one div with a class name arrows. Inside here I'm going to add 2 buttons, that is like the previous and the like next, previous and next button. Okay, so it's like from left to right. Okay, for this button also we'll add a class, and I'm going to give it a class name of prev, which means previous. Also we need to add our icon, so I'll say class again dot. So we're simply adding the arrows. Okay, so simply duplicate this. We need a second button, that is next button. Okay, so here I'm going to change to right. Also I'll change this to next. So simply save this file, go back to the browser, refresh it. Now you can see we have our two arrows. Okay, that is left to right. It's like previous and next. So now for this website landing page design doesn't look good, so we need to add some styling. So here let's go to our style.css. so you can see here I have written the basic CSS structure. So I'm going to start with the body, and for my body I'll give a width of 100%. Also I will add a height of 100 view height, font family, Maton. So this good font. Okay, so next we'll add is font size, and I'll give it like 12 pixel, and I'll say overflow to be hidden. Next we'll do cursor to be pointer, and lastly I'm going to add a background color. Okay, so for this one I'll just give it this X color. So next let's style our all ULs. For my UL I'll say list style to be none. Next is our class nav. So if we go back to our index.html, you can see on top here we create a class called nav. Open curly braces. So here I'm going to say display to be flex. Also we'll add justify content to be space around. Align items, padding. So I'm going to say padding instead of I'll use padding top, and I'll give it 20 pixel. Also we'll add text transform to be uppercase. Next, I'm going to add font weight, and I'm going to give it about 600, which is perfect. Also, next is our logo. So I'm going to use our class logo. So for our logo, I'll only add one thing, that is font size, and I'll give it 40 pixel. Next is our class menu links, UL and Line. For this one, we'll say display to be inline block. Also, next I'll add padding right to be 20 pixel. Next is our class search, and here I'm going to do two classes. Okay, so you'd say dot search comma, because we are dealing with two classes. For these two classes, I'll give font size of 20 pixel. Next, I'm going to style my content. For the content, I'll give position to be absolute. Also, we'll add top to be, should be top 55%. Also, we'll add left 50%, transform, translate negative 50%. So also we need to do negative 50% for both sides. Okay, and here I'm going to say negative 50%. Sorry, I forgot the percentage. Next we need to say is we can do something like display, it will display. I'm going to say flex. Also we need to say flex wrap to be wrap, align items center, and lastly I'm going to add z index of 1, or let's say like -1. Next is our class title. For this class I'm going to say flex 0 0 100%. Also we'll add font size of 130 pixel. Let me just scroll up so that you can see clear to what I'm doing here. So lastly we need to add, for the title I'm going to add text transform because I want it to be uppercase. Okay, also we'll need to add font weight 700. Next is our class tagline. For this class I'm going to say flex1, so should be flex. I don't know, my computer keeps doing that. So next I'm going to say font size, it's the text, it's the editor, okay, not the computer. So for font size we'll add something like 30 pixel. Also we need to add color, and here I'm going to choose maybe black is perfect for the text and the taglines also. Next is our class pages. For this class we'll add flex 0, also letter spacing 5 pixel, color, so I'm going to give the same color, black. Next I'm going to say pages, and here is our span tag. So if we go back, you might be wondering where this span tag is coming. Okay, so let me just take you back. Okay, so you can see this where we are so far. You can see this is where we are. Okay, the pages, we create this 2 span tag, it's like 2/21. Okay, so that's we're using the span tag. So for this one I'm going to say font size of 60 pixel. Also we'll add color black, font weight 700, or we can say 600. Next is our class more. Here I'm going to say flex 1. That's all. Next is my anchor tag more, and then this is the class. Okay, so here I'm going to say text decoration to be none. So for this class you can see this is the class. Okay, it's like a small text. Okay, it's like like I said, it's the button. Okay, because we're using this anchor tag. Okay, so for For the button, we want text decoration to be none. Also, we're going to add font size on our button, and I'm going to give a font size of 20 pixel. Let me just arrange this. So next, I'll add color. Let's add color on our button. So I'm going to use white. Also, we need to add background. Okay, background color to our button. So I'm going to say it's like kind of green. Okay, so next let's add padding. So I'm going to give a padding of 10 pixel by 30 pixel. Lastly, we'll add border radius. So for our border radius, I want it to be 10 pixel. This all the button. Okay, now let's refresh. Save our file and then go back to the browser, refresh your web page. Now you can see we have our logo and we have the menu list. This is the menu navbar. Okay, the menu list. Okay, also you can see we have our search icon and the shopping cart icon, and you can see we have the my account, and this is the button. Okay, show all the juices. So still we need to add something like, let me just go. Okay, let me just continue. We'll start with the class. Let's move to the next class. For this class, okay, now for our 2 paragraphs. Okay, I don't know, the button shouldn't be like this, but I'm going to deal with it. Okay, let's go back to our text editor. So for these 2 paragraphs, I'll add like something like flex, then I'll say 0.32%. Next, I'll say again the class, then here is the paragraph. I'm going to use the nth child. The nth child, okay, and I'm going to say 1. Select the first nth child. Okay, I'm going to say font size of 30 pixel. Also, I'm going to add margin bottom of 20 pixel. Again, I'm going to copy this because we have 2 paragraphs. Okay, so this will be the second paragraph. So for this one, I'm going to remove all of these properties. So for this one, I'll add line height, and for line height, I'll give it 2. Next is our span tags. Okay, these 2 span tags. Okay, that's 1 span tag. Okay, so for this span tag, I will give it maybe like, you can say color. We will color the paragraph. Okay, next is our class juice. This is where the image comes. Now we're going to deal with the image. So before I do that, I'm simply going to save this file, then go back to your web page, refresh it. Now you can see our button is perfect. Okay, and also you can see we have the text, but we are missing the image. The image should be at the center of the web page. So come back to the text editor. Now we're going to deal with the image. So for this one, I'll say position to be absolute. Also, I'm going to add top of 50%, left 50%, z index 1, img. Now we're going to deal with our image. So for my image, I'm going to add some animation, and we're going to use a CSS property called float. Okay, and what is going to do this is we're going to set it a time like 4 seconds, and we're going to say is in out. Okay, so it will come from like up and down. Okay, and I'm going to add the infinite, and we're going to add a max height of 600 pixel. Now let's save this file, reload your web page. I know it's not going to work now because we are missing some JavaScript plugins, JS plugins. So let's just continue. So for this to work, I'm going to use CSS keyframes. So I'll say keyframes float, okay? Because simply we create this float, okay? So but we need to add some frames, so I'll just say keyframes float, and I'll start with 0%, open curly braces, and here I'm going to use transform translate, okay, negative 50%, comma, negative 50, or you can say 46%. Simply I'm going to duplicate this to save time, okay? So simply duplicate this, we need to create more, 3 more. So for this one I'll say 50%, and for transform I'll say maybe negative 54. The next one here I'm going to say 100%. So the values will remain the same, okay? The values will not change. So next is our class called the leaves. So now we're going to deal with the leaves, okay? We want these leaves to move, okay? These ones. So we want to add some kind of animation, CSS animation. So for this class we'll add width of 100%. Also we'll add height, 100 view height, position to be absolute. Also we'll add top 50%, left of 50%. Lastly, I'm going to add z index, so it will be z index of 1. So now we need to deal with one by one image, okay? So I'm going to say leaves img, and I'm going to say max width 100%. Also we need to add max height 100%. Next is my class called leaves, and then we have layers, and then here I'm going to use nth child 1, open curly braces. Next I'm going to say here top to be negative 100 pixel by, and I'm going to say important, left negative 480 pixel, not important. So simply to save time, I'm going to duplicate this. So we need like 5 because we have 5 images of leaves, okay? So for this one I'll say second one, and child, the second and child, and here I'm going to say 10 pixel, 160 pixel. Second is this is the third one, and I'm going to set it negative 300 pixel. Also this one I'm going to set it 160. Okay, so far so good. So next I'll need 2 more. So for this one also I'll change its value to be negative 10 pixel, and also this one I'll set it 320 pixel. And lastly we need to do the 5th one, and for this one I'll say maybe, for this one let's give it 200, okay, positive, okay? And also here I'm going to say negative 320. Okay, I think that's all. So next I'm going to edit my class arrows. We have like the previous and the next, remember? So for these 2 icons, I'm going to start with the first one, that is the class prev, okay? For this one I'll say position to be absolute. Also we'll add top of 50%. Next I will add left 100 pixel. Next is my class arrow. Sorry, I need a new line. For next one is our class called next. Same, I'm going to do position to be absolute. Also, we'll add top of 50%. Also, we need to add right, and I'm going to say 100 pixel. So remember, this one is for the left one, this one is coming from the right side, okay? So it should be pixel px, okay? Px. So next is our button. So I'm going to say button. I'm going to add a border of 1 pixel solid, and I'm going to give it I'm going to add a color white, gray. Next, I'm going to say background transparent. Also, we need to add padding of 20 pixel. Next, I'll add border radius of 50%. And lastly, I'm going to say outline to be none. Next, I'm going to say still arrows, and here I'm going to add some hover effect on our button. So I'm going to use the property hover. So for this one, I'll add color to be white. Also, we'll add background to be black. So let's save this, come back to the browser, refresh it. Now you can see we have the animation, okay, of easy out. This is the CSS property called the key float, okay. Also, you can see our two previous and next. You can see there's no hover effect on our second button, okay. Simply come back here. So for this one, I think we need to add some JS libraries, okay. So for that, I'm going to create another file called script.js. Simply what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some, okay, well, let's start, okay. We can create let's say we can create a variable called scene. So before I do anything, let me just undo this. So we need to connect this script.js to our HTML. So by doing that, we need to go here at the end of that div tag. So here I'm going to create one script source, and we need to connect this script.js, okay. Now we have successfully connected our HTML with JavaScript, okay, the JavaScript. Simply control save, control S, okay. So for this one, now we need to add JavaScript. So I'm going to create a variable called scene, and I'm going to use the document dot get element by ID, and for our ID is scene. Make sure to don't forget this semicolon, okay, it's very important. Also, I'm going to create another variable called parallax, and I'm going to say new parallax, okay. Scene. So here I'm going to use JS library. I've used a JS library called twinmax. This link tag, okay. You can see we have the twinmax and the parallax, okay. So make sure you get these three files. As I said, it's very important before you follow up this tutorial. So make sure to download the files first, and then you follow the tutorial, which I'm doing here, okay. So next, let's come back to our file called script.js. So here I'm going to say twinmax dot, I'm going to use from, and here I'll start with the logo, the class logo, okay. Logo 1, comma 1, and then I'm going to simply open curly braces, and here I'm going to say opacity to be 0. Also we'll add create an array. We are not let's just continue. Okay, next I'll say x negative 20 is, and here I'm going to say like we need an expo. Okay, so I'm going to use dot is in out. Okay, is in out, so it should be expo. Now simply save your file, come back to the browser, refresh it. Still we have issue with the second button. Okay, let me just go back to our HTML, index.html, and scroll all the way down. So this is the class we created. Okay, so I think it's okay. So simply what I'm going to do is I'm not going to waste time, so I'm going to do some copy pasting. Okay, so let me just go back to my notepad plus notepad. Okay, so here from this way I'm going to copy. I'm just want to save time. Okay, so simply I'm going to copy this. So after this, so let me just explain quick. Okay, so here we created the first one, we deal with our logo. Okay, so next is our menu links. So this for the menu list. Okay, we have we have the search icon, the count icon. Okay, I mean the cat icon, sorry, and this is the my account. Also this is the content, the juice, the image. This is where the image displays. Okay, from up and down. Also this one. So just I'm going to I'm going to provide the JS file for this script.js. You can just download and easy copy paste it. Okay, because this is like a whole process for you to understand. So I'm just going to save this file. Now let's refresh our web page, and you can see still I don't know, we have issue with our this previous next button. Okay, so let's just go, let me just go back. Okay, and let's go back to our style.css. Under button arrows, oh, this is the problem. Okay, so I don't know where the problem is. So simply what I'm going to do is, I think it has to do something with the hover. Let me see the class. The class is okay. I think it looks perfect. It looks okay to me. Let me see the style.css. We have an issue with the second arrow, that is the next, the right one. So position is absolute top right. So I don't know where the issue is. Our button. If we refresh again and if we check the the left side, the previous this one is working. Also, there's no background hover effect. Okay, so let me just go. I think that's to do something. Okay, if we refresh again, and you can see, you can just this bottle this is automatically moving. Okay, and also the leaves we can move, but except this one is not moving. Okay, we have the 4 leaves moving from side to side. Okay, left, right. Okay, you see, whenever it's just, it has to do with the cursor. Okay, now it will follow where the cursor goes, but this one is moving. So simply here I'm going back to index.html. So here where it says the third leaves. Okay, here I used minus 1.5. It should be minus 1.5. Okay, so also correct that mistake, save that file. Now under the CSS we go to under the class called leaves. Here, so here I'm going to change my z index and I'm going to make it -1. Simply save this file. Now come back to your browser, refresh it. Now you're going to see our problem has been solved. Also, you can see there's some hover effect on our next button. Also, you can see this leaf now is moving whenever we move the cursor. So guys, you can see, and you might wonder why I didn't explain the script.js. This is a long process. As I said, I'm going to provide all this script.js file in my video link description so that you can also download it and use it for this tutorial, plus with the other 2 library plugins links. Okay, the links. So make sure to go and download this file first. So now come back to the browser, refresh again, and now we have completed creating our landing page design using only HTML and CSS. Now this is a clean juice company landing page design. Okay, and you can see we have this bottle juice bar. Also we have these leaves, and we have this big text that says lemonade, and this is our tagline, and we have the pages here, 2 out of 21. Okay, so let me just go back, and I forgot to add this one. I'm just put that way, control save. I think now is okay. You can see 2 out of 21. Also you can see we have the logo, we have our menu bar, and our 2 icons, the search icon, the cat icon, and also we have this content. We have 2 paragraphs. Okay, also we have our button, show all the juices. So guys, we have completed creating our landing page design using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So kindly, if you enjoyed this video and if you think this video was very helpful, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and also share. So till next time, bye.